Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. I'm Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm a spiritual medium and intuitive reader. I have a message for Scorpio today, which I have asked for from my guides to bring through the cards a message that is inspiring as well as uplifting for you as you navigate your spiritual journey this week. And if you are new to this channel, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I strongly invite you to subscribe to this channel so that you can benefit from the weekly consistent contact with the information from the other side. And if you're returning, I am super grateful for you and for your presence and your time and energy. Before I get to your reading, I also want to mention that I'm offering solstice and New Year's readings for a limited time. These are really empowering, amazing readings that tell you which karmic lessons you're done with, which ones you're still working on, what's going to happen in the future, that kind of stuff. They're really amazing. I invite you to either look at the description below for more information or just check out trueguidancetarot.com. Go to offerings. Let's get into your reading. It's very interesting. I love this card for you. This is the message from the universe, the Princess of Cups. So you're going to be feeling intuition pretty strongly this week, and this is also a reminder to take some quiet, reflective time out for yourself. She's completely divining what's coming to her from that cup, and I just feel that this space you're going to need to process some of this information is very important. So this is definitely a reminder to make sure that you've got the spiritual space reserved for yourself. You've got the Nine of Pentacles for the way that you respond. You're kind of like, yep, I can do it. I can take it. I'm competent. You're feeling it's just like feeling very well set up. You know, you feel in control of your environment. You feel at ease in your environment, and you also feel very blessed in your environment, and that anything you want is just going to come to you. It's this lovely, trusting kind of space. And I love the peaceful feeling that comes with this card. It's also that she understands how to handle these intuitive messages. The hawk or falcon is representing that. She's got a green glove to hold it. So you understand that through the heart is where you receive a lot of this communication. But again, remember, it's really important to keep that space for this week. We have an interesting set of cards, and I'm feeling like 3 and 4 different meanings coming from it. We started off with such wonderful, peaceful cards, and then they're showing me this situation, which is really interesting. We have the King of Cups looking off one way, and then we've got the Two of Pentacles in the middle, and then we have the Queen of Swords facing into the Two of Pentacles. So more than anything, it's strange. I feel like this Two of Pentacles is representing you in the middle of these two polar opposite energies, either trying to reconcile them within yourself or trying to mediate some people outside of you, these energies outside of you. Either way, it's still coming as something projected from the self or something within the self. So you may be acting out this dynamic with people in your environment, or you may just be feeling these energies pulling at you from within yourself. The thing is that the root of it is all within yourself. But let's talk about this a little bit more. This Queen of Swords energy and the Two of Pentacles, it's so self-reliant. Let me just cover him up for a second. This is the ultra self-reliant, ultra independence, not taking anyone else's counsel and not feeling like there's a better opinion or a better way of doing things than your own. It's almost a very fixed energy. It's kind of says, I'm better off on my own. I'll just stay there. I don't really need to take anything in from the outside. I'm self-contained. I don't really need to receive any information. I've got it all inside me, and I'm really better off on my own. That's some of the narrative that's going on with these energies, and they're telling me to also pay attention to this storm in the background. There's a feeling that you're better off navigating anything that's tumultuous or chaotic or upsetting. You're better off navigating that alone. You have this feeling, and you don't necessarily want to involve other people's energies when you're trying to go through a rough patch or trying to navigate something that's a little difficult. This is definitely a time when you're just like, I don't even want to hear anything else. I don't want to hear anything that anyone has to say. Now, on the other side, and what's interesting too, is that her body is turned into this Queen of Swords. So it kind of feels like this is the direction she wants to go. And you notice the lower half of her body, which is where her direction of intention would be, is also in the same colors as this. But yeah, she's got this pink on top. We're going to get to the pink in a second. On the back is a much calmer, let me hide her. It's a much calmer kind of atmosphere. We have this safe, steady rock flowing into the land and the rocks of this King of Cups who looks out over the ocean. And he's got this, I don't know if the camera's really showing it, he's got this lovely dog back here. So he's got unconditional love behind him on the throne. And he's expectantly looking out. And he's looking out towards the horizon for opportunities, places to connect, people to connect with. He's looking for maybe his heart's desire, which he may find in another person, or he just be that connection to the heart's desire. Heart's desire isn't always a soulmate, but it's that kind of energy that he's looking for, an energy that resonates so deeply within him that he knows it as an extension of him, but on the soul level. And this is a very receptive energy, whereas she has her eyes shut and her nose kind of up. And she doesn't want anything to do with the lower world. He welcomes it. You know, he sits on the ground, he looks out over the ocean, he says, oh, I wonder what's going to come next. It's a very expectant, receptive, completely different kind of energy. It's funny because this is a more masculine but feminine energy. This is a more feminine yet masculine energy. And you see how she can't decide which way to go. So there's a lot of different ambiguities being juggled here or being decided between. You're trying to balance the two, but it's becoming a little difficult. They're saying to stick with the king. What's really interesting, and this is very subtle, the king is looking out, but do you see this pink? There's like a new dawn coming for him, a new experience. And look what she's wearing. It's that same pink. And it's that same pink in her heart. And what's also interesting is that the left arm is kind of gesturing off towards him. The left arm is on her side. The left side is the feminine energy. It's the receptive energy. Arms are an extension of the heart. So it's very interesting because even though it seems like her body wants to go this way into the Queen of Swords, her mind wants to go that way, her body wants to go that way, her heart is actually wanting to turn the other way. And it's not really predictable, because this is a very hidden, subtle energy, because the pull to be so independent and so self-reliant is so strong. She doesn't even hear that little echo within herself. And that's why, and then look, this is funny, she's wearing red. It's like his daughter, right? She's trying to remind you, listen to that heart space, listen to that soul space, listen to the part that's not the ego telling you that you've got all the answers, because the safer thing is actually away. It's away from that conflict, and it's a more steady and stable ground to go this direction. And so it's like your heart wants one thing, but the pull of your mind and the fear of having to rely on someone else, or fear of having to receive another's energy where in the past it maybe was disappointing or didn't live up to all you wanted it to be, there's a tendency to want to turn away from that in your heart. So this is really a week where the heart and the head are very unaligned. And I understand a little bit more now why they gave us these two, because she would be the heart and this one is definitely the head. Pentacles are very calculating. So there's something else they want me to see about this. Okay, so it's a basic thing, the difference between cups and swords. Swords are words and thoughts and beliefs and things that we think we're seeing the truth, or it is our truth, or our connection to spirit. But cups are also the receiving of energy and vibes and vibrations and knowing. knowing rather than knowing rather than perceiving. They want me to use those words with you for some reason. So this is the difference between being willing to receive energy and thinking that you have to pierce through, or thinking that you have to cut things away so that it's literally cutting off other things or other inputs, other people. I want to get a little bit more clarity about why this is going on. Because if you find yourself in the middle of a dramatic situation, I think the impulse is going to be either to cut through it bluntly with your words, or to cut through that situation. But these other two cards, or this half of the card and this card, are giving you an indication that there's actually a softer way forward through the heart. That if you can tune in and tap into that heart energy that we were talking about here, that heart and spirit energy, that there's a softer way out of the conflict. And it's not going to mean that you have to get your back up and you have to be very hard and kind of steely. It's asking you to go the opposite direction, and that you're actually going to be better protected. That friend, that dog back there, you're going to be better protected if you go at it the other way through the heart, because the heart is reaching out to connect. And when you make connections through the heart, they are very strong and long lasting. Even the way it changes in your own body when your heart opens up, the energy flows, and all of your chakra centers can connect with each other. Okay, finally, man, sometimes we go in a circle. The heart center is the bridge between the higher and the lower self. And when you're only operating from here, you're cutting off the wisdom from the lower half of your body. And they're asking you to get into that divine, divine mixer, one of those things, like a kitchen mixer, so that you can mix these two energies and see the best way forward, but understand that it's coming through here. Okay? So that was a bit of a roundabout way of covering a lot of different things. If you've got questions about it, please reach out in the comments. And again, I'd love for you to check out my website, True Guidance Tarot. If a reading isn't right for you right now, but you know someone who would really benefit, I'd super appreciate it if you could point them my direction. So I will look forward to seeing you next time, and have an awesome week.